Get on him, Crow.
It was this 30-yard headshot on a squirrel out with Andy that showed us that Wayne Martin really does know one end of a catapult from another. For these kinds of results you need skill, which comes from lots and lots of practice and fieldcraft. So we go for a wander in the woods with Wayne, a mooch, to find out what he looks for to try and increase his chances of a successful hunt.
I'd like to have a couple of shots first of all, just get a feel for what the bands are doing, especially in weather like this.
Sounding good?
Yeah, not far off at all.
What sort of range are you warming up to?
This is about 20, just over 20 yards. Look.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for. First one dropped in a bit low about there. And the second one.
Happy with that?
Yeah, just give me a feel for the drop at this sort of temperature.
The temperature, as we've discussed before, is very important.
Critical. And yeah, definitely, especially when you're not using an anti-cold band like we're not today. We'll see how it goes with this one. I've beefed the taper up a bit to try and get a bit more power in the cold weather. So we'll see. If it's no good, we'll switch to anti-cold. Very precise, this is my favourite, as you know. I really would like to use this year round. I do like the anti-cold, but I'm such a fan of sticking with one thing. I want to try and make it work if I can, but we'll see how we get on.
That's a very smart looking catapult. Is it a different model?
No, same model, still a goblet, just a different materials I've had it done in. So we've got quilted maple, ivory G10, and this one I've had chamfered at the brace, just to make it comfier when I hold it. Whereas opposed to the other one was all square, okay, all the way around. This now sort of a bit more ergonomic to your hand. It's sort of more repeatable for your fingers to go in the same place, finger and thumb in the same place. You kind of get used to it over the years of what you're looking for. And obviously we've got all the sharp branches. You're kind of looking for inconsistencies in the pattern. Well, there's no pattern, if that makes sense. The branches are generally sharp and jagged and edgy. At this time of year, there's no leaves on the trees. You're just looking for something like a clump or a mass that shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? Or a fleck of colour that's different. You're just looking for them tiny little things that's going to give it away.
Are you sort of just naturally tuned in anyway, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I was brought up doing this sort of stuff. I had my first air rifle when I was 5, so I guess going out with my dad and hunting, I think you just get used to getting an eye for it. I mean, I can spot pigeons. Oh, that's a pigeon, and everyone's like, where? You've got to explain it to people. They don't naturally see it, you know. But I think when you're brought up with it and you're used to doing it, you just naturally get an eye for these kind of things.
But it can be learned, can't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. You've learned it in the first place, haven't you? You know, it's just something that has to be acquired over time. I think you have to earn something like that. You don't just walk out and have it, you know. You have to know what you're looking for.
I remember when I first started filming with Crow, and suddenly I was seeing pigeons everywhere.
Yeah.
I'd never seen them before.
Yeah.
And also the deer on the side of the motorways, you know, and the farm.
Spotting them in the fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just don't see them.
No, they don't. No. And it's even harder in this circumstance, obviously, because you've got all the trees and leaves everywhere. You know, it's definitely an acquired skill picking out a pigeon or a squirrel or something in amongst this lot. You know, you're looking for that tiny bit of movement that shouldn't be there. If it's a windy day, all the branches are moving. If there's one branch that isn't moving, why isn't it moving? It's because probably there's a bit of weight on there. You know, or on a still day, if there's a branch that's moving, it sticks out because the rest of them are still. So why is it moving? Probably because there's something sat on there, moving around. Just tiny little things you're looking for. Also, when you're looking for squirrels, a good place is always where the branch meets the tree. They like to sit right in the little corners. So check all the little corners rather than being sat out on a branch. A lot of the times they'll be tucked in. You just see their little head sat there. Was that just a little bit low as well?
No, it was on it.
Was that on it, was it?
So you continually target focusing, so again you're after that leaf at the back end.
Yeah, just finding my ranges again. After I walk around for a long time, you've not had a shot, you kind of feel like you get cold. Do you know what I mean? You sort of want to dial back into where you are. The last thing I want to do is stumble upon a squirrel after being out for an hour and not had a shot for an hour. So I just like to continually keep myself topped up, if you like. And plus the weather's continually changing. And at that kind of range, your drop will continually change with the heat, especially with these bands. So that's why I want to continually shoot, plus I enjoy it.
But, you know, when you were choosing what to shoot at then, I didn't realise you were going that far out. I mean, that's you're ranging, so you reckon that's about 30?
Yes, definitely 30 yards, yeah. The thing is, I mean, with proper wild hunting, you aren't going to get stuff at 10 yards. You know, shooting things from here to that tree just isn't realistic in the real life. So shooting at 10 metres is fine for testing accuracy, but if you want to really hone in your hunting skills, you want to be shooting things 25, 30 yards, you know? Try and get a better feel for things. I mean, at 10 metres you could be half an inch off, which is bloody good. But that same shot at 30 yards is probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches off. So hone yourself in at a longer range. You're going to be better at shorter range and better at longer range. Right, there's a good tip on accuracy. Accuracy comes down to mainly pouch release. Obviously keeping your forehand still, but pouch release is absolutely imperative. So with heavier bands, sometimes it can be harder to grip the pouch. It can slip. You know, so what happens, you'll turn your hand down and make sure the ball doesn't slip. So if you can get a good grip on it, that's halfway to your good accuracy. So what I do is keep a bit of gym chalk in my pocket, and every now and then rub a little bit on my thumb and forefinger, and that gives me a nice grip on the pouch. Doesn't feel like it's going to slip, because obviously gym chalk is there to aid grip. So you can see I can hold it nice and tight and it's not going to slip, and that pouch is dead straight. So with the heavier bands, trying to hold a pouch straight can be quite difficult. So just that little bit of gym chalk gives that bit of extra grip, makes the shot on that much easier.
For more information about Wayne's Catapults, go to Catty Shack on Facebook.